Imagine an issue so prominent that the biggest corporations like Amazon, Nike, and even one of the most well-known, the NFL. Now imagine the world's most popular celebrities like Jay-Z, Kanye, and Beyonce, and even both sides of the political parties. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. All of these companies and celebrities and political parties are from different walks of life, different colors, and different status in society, but they all agree on one thing: Black Lives Matter. And we are all fighting the same fight on being targets of the police and being held under a system that keeps us in place with violence. Police brutality is not a recent issue, but it was brought to an elevated platform as the world was stuck in their homes due to the COVID-19 pandemic and were forced to watch the inhumane videos of George Floyd's murder, in which he was killed by police brutality, and is something that needs to stop.
George Floyd
repeatedly told the officers that he could not breathe.
Why is America protesting police brutality and systematic racism so hard all of a sudden? This starts way back before my time, but in recent news, this started back in 2020 regarding the death of George Floyd. The world absolutely freaked out after watching the series of events of his deaths. People starting riots all around the world, trying to maintain peace and justice for blacks against police brutality. People were destroying buildings, stealing whatever they wanted, and simply not getting in trouble for it. Stealing from small business owners obviously doesn't help the community against black brutality, but it did put the people stealing at a risk of death from the police. Matter of fact, in Arkansas in 2020, a restaurant owner who was a black man was shot and killed by police officers and National Guard troops while they were shooting towards protesters aimlessly. This caused even more havoc on the fact of police brutality coming towards black people. Now looking back into deeper history, Trevor Noah said, people wanted Confederate statues down, and they weren't brought down until cities were being terrorized. But this brings the question of, why hasn't this happened sooner? This is because some people will say how the new generation needs to learn history. But this history is terrible and something we're trying to avoid going into the future as a country. The real reason these statues might not have been brought down is because the officials might be racist and don't want to drag down another man in the police force, even if it happened many years back. Trevor Noah is very passionate about this topic is because he is black. And clearly he feels some type of way because on the side of his video, there's this place to donate money and generate wealth for black people living in bad situations.
The uprising against an already historic issue of police brutality resurfaced that night after George Floyd's murder in Minnesota. Trevor Noah's discussion of America's protests on police brutality and systematic racism highlighted that although the movement was sparked by one American in one city, everyone in the world has related to what it means to be a target of the police and systems that keep you down with violence. From tens of thousands of people in big cities to less than 200 people in predominantly white towns, George Floyd brought out an inner protest that expanded globally in places like Paris and Rome and also Tokyo, saying that we will keep fighting the same fight that you are. In addition to these global protests, Confederate statues of racist police commissioners are taken down in Philadelphia. Books on race become bestsellers, and the Black Lives Movement is finally working. People are saying Black Lives Matter in public. Companies like the NFL, Amazon, and Bud Light are making big steps saying that it's now a part of their corporate ethos that Black Lives Matter. In LA, they are taking money away from the LAPD, essentially defunding the police and putting it into black investments in black education. Black Lives Matter should not be controversial. All of this is a start, and if we keep doing it, we will keep the flame burning and make an even bigger change.
For our topic, there are many key takeaways at the end of the day. My first main key takeaway would be everyone is equal. No one should discriminate color because at the end of the day, we are all human. And everybody is working for something. Everybody is trying to provide for somebody else. Life is bigger than just color. Everybody's doing something for someone else or for themselves in order to survive. there are many lessons that we can learn from this as well. One of my biggest lessons would be systematic racism is always going to be around. Social profiling will unfortunately continue to happen. But I think the main point is how we react to this. Burning buildings and putting yourself in danger while trying to stand up for what you think is right won't help. Taking a video of the police officer and staying calm to not put yourself in danger and reporting this police officer will definitely help the situation. This speech from Trevor Noah was from 2020, and we are still faced with the same problems as before. I think we need to unite as a country and come together to make all police force understand everyone is equal. At the end of the day, we all live in America, and all we want is good health and a great life for everybody. So I think we need to come together to stop social profiling and get this done.